Everybody, hello. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Brenton Bear, and I'm the Business Development Manager at AMS. For those of you who are unfamiliar, AMS stands for Agency Management System, and we are in fact um, the industry's first agency-specific platform designed to meet the operation needs of all agencies, big or small. We are very happy to have you with us today because we are excited to tell you about our new partnership with Sterling College and Canadian Tourism College. Through this partnership, you're going to be able to search through all of their programs using a range of filters on AMS. You'll be able to generate instant quotations for your students on the platform. You'll be able to submit applications to them with the click of a button, and you'll be able to earn commission by partnering with them as well. And then in addition to this, I will be talking a little bit about what AMS is and what sort of services we have and how you can benefit from those. We have with us today also the Associate Director of Admissions at Canadian Tourism College and Sterling College, Human Garemane. And in just a bit here, I'm going to be handing it over to Human so he can tell you more about their schools and programs and how you can place students to them. And then after that, I'm going to be giving a short presentation of AMS to show you, like it's a demo, how exactly it looks taking a student from the stage of inquiry through to quotation to, enrolling the student at the school. If you have any questions during the presentations, feel free to write in the chat and we will direct those to whoever's giving the presentation. At the end of Human's presentation, we will have a Q&A also, and then at the end of mine, we will have another where we can unmute everyone and you can ask any questions that you may have. So just during the presentations, if you can, just write those in the chat. At the end, we will unmute you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and make you the host here, Human, so you can share your screen.
Thank you, Brenton.
Yeah, just a second here. Okay. Okay, you are the host now, I believe. Oh, I might need to stop sharing my screen first. Let me see if that does it.
Fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Human Rahmani. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here for Canadian Tourism College, Sterling College, and I Like Higher Education. I want to start with just making sure, I guess I'll check with you, Brendan. You can see my screen okay there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect, fantastic. So here we are. So I'll start with Canadian Tourism College. Canadian Tourism College has been a part of the Canadian tourism industry for over 40 years now. There we go. Since CTC was established, over 30,000 graduates have come to become flight attendants, senior hotel managers, and also business owners. At CTC, we are conveniently located in downtown Vancouver. If some of you are familiar with our city here, we have great public transport. And so our schools are strategically placed near public transportation so that our students can get to our schools very easily. We offer programs in hospitality, travel and tourism, flight attendant diploma, and also certificate programs in all three. We offer multiple intake days throughout the year, allowing you to take your first step in an exciting new career as soon as you're ready. So what that means to your students is we start classes year round. So we have classes summertime, fall, winter, and also in the spring. We do have co-op options available for all of these programs. And what that means is students will be doing the first portion of studying here at our school. Then we'll be placing them in a related field to work the same amount of period they studied in the field as well to gain Canadian work experience as well. And as I mentioned, these co-op options are available to students and they are paid work experience. CTC has established partnerships with Vancouver Community College, Royal Roads University, and this is allowing our graduates to do their education to the next level by transferring into their degree program once they've completed our diploma programs. Here are the programs that we're offering at Canadian Tourism College. So we have a diploma in travel and tourism business management. This program comes with a co-op option as well. Now, students don't have to take co-op options, but what we have experienced is international students do want to take advantage of the co-op options because it does give them placement within the Canadian work environment and allows them to get that essential experience that they need. So the program is 1 year in length, but if they add the co-op, it's an additional year for the co-op period to be added. We also have a certificate in tourism, which is 12 weeks. And again, this tourism certificate does come with a co-op. So you'll be working, going to school for 3 months, and then you'll be going to work for 3 months. We have a diploma in hospitality and resort business management. Follows the same length of time as our diploma in travel and tourism. It is 1 year in length. If they want, they can add the co-op, which adds an additional year to the program. Now, if they want just to touch base in the hospitality, we do have a certificate as well for 3 months. Also has an option for a co-op for 3 months past that as well. And finally, we have our flight attendant diploma, which is a employment training program. It gives them the essential trainings that airlines would be giving them, and it makes them stand out amongst the rest of the applicants when applying for airlines. They'll be familiar with all of the skills they need to have, as well as the side certificates that they need to hold to be eligible to be hired for that position. So let's chat about Sterling College. Sterling College is a part of ILAC's higher education family. We're committed to creating a positive and engaging learning environment where students can gain the credentials necessary for careers that are in demand. We are dedicated to providing training that surpasses the needs of the industry. So what that really means is the programs that we're giving out at Sterling College are all directly leading into employment and careers. So the training that you receive here at the school is hands-on, and it's the training that employers opportunity. At Sterling College, we offer programs in business, nursing, and IT. The Vancouver location is situated in the heart of downtown, as I mentioned, easily accessible by transit and close to beautiful Vancouver Convention Center on the waterfront. Now, we do also have a Surrey campus. It is also close to transit, so it makes it extremely easy to get there. And it's central to shoppings and parks and etc. Now you'll find sightseeing attractions, restaurants, and shops close to both of our great locations, as you may know about this, our city. Now, we have partnered with Red Deer College as a part of our goal to be able to give additional training and a dual accreditation to students studying our Sterling College programs. So I'll tell you a little bit about Red Deer College. They are situated in Alberta, I would say between Calgary and Edmonton. Either way, you head towards one another and you're going to find Red Deer in the middle. It is a farming town, but they've been around for quite some time. They've been around for 55 years. And as you can see, RDC has been proudly serving its learners and communities. The college continues to grow programs, facilities, and opportunities as it transitions to become a comprehensible regional teaching university during the next 3 to 5 years. So right now, Red Deer is a college, but they're working with the Alberta government to transition to become a university. Which is fantastic for students who are attending there and future students who will be attending there. This year, RDC will add 7 new programs to more than 100 established programs, including full degrees, certificates, diplomas, skilled trade programs, etc. RDC educates 7,500 full-time and part-time credit students and more than 38,000 youth and adult learners in the School of Continuing Education each year. So you can see that they have quite a large population of student body go through the school. So they're very well established in Alberta, and that's one of the reasons we've partnered with this school. and it's going to give us the ability to bring additional features that we would like our students to be able to have. So the three programs that we are offering through RDC is the Diploma in Software Development, the Diploma in Network Administration, and a post-degree certificate in Healthcare Practice and Management. All three of these programs are two-year programs. The Software Development and Network Administration are 2 years and 4 semesters, where the post-degree certificate in Healthcare Practice and Management is 2 years, but with 6 semesters. Now, we're going to look more closely in detail with each of these programs and be able to give you guys a better breakdown of how those terms look and what your students can expect. Let's start with the Diploma in Software Development. This program allows students to earn a diploma with technical skills in software development that meet industry needs. It is designed for students seeking to focus on one or more applicant domains, such as a general application development, web development, game development, and mobile application development. Now, the program starts twice a year, once in the fall and once in the winter. So what that means is students will be off during the summertime. Next, we have our Diploma in Network Administration. This program gives students the knowledge and skills necessary for entry-level employment in the computer networking field. This IT qualification gives graduates the opportunity to enter an industry where their skills are in demand. Again, this program follows the same schedule. It is 2 years in length, leads to a diploma in network administration. Again, it starts in fall and in the winter. And the location is here at Vancouver, BC, and Red Deer. But ultimately, all of these classes that students will be taking with Sterling and RDC are being conducted here at our Vancouver campus. So students won't be going to Alberta. They won't be studying at the Red Deer campus. They'll be studying right here in Vancouver. Something about these two programs here, as I mentioned earlier, our programs are designed in a way that they're going to give the knowledge and the skills employers are looking for, and that way our students are able to transition into the workplace very well. And that's important for internationals as well, because these programs that we have partnered up with RDC do come with postgraduate work permits, which means that if the students hold the right skills, they hold the work permit, then they're going to be a good hire for Canadian companies here in Vancouver and anywhere else in Canada. Next, let's talk about the postgraduate certificate in healthcare practice and management. This program prepares internationally educated nurses to integrate their prior education and take on management or leadership roles in the dynamic Canadian healthcare environment. Both the theoretical knowledge and practical skills will be evaluated. This program is also 2 years in length, but it starts 3 times a year: fall, winter, and summer. Where the other two programs, the students would have a break during summertime, this program, the students would be going year-round. And again, the location for the program will be here in Vancouver. Now, before I go to the questions, a couple things about the postgraduate certificate program. Students are going to need to be nurses in their home country to qualify for this program. And of course, you can find all the requirements on our website for the eligibility. However, I'll just give you a brief intro. For the postgraduate certificate, they're going to need to be practicing nurses in their home country. They need to have a relative bachelor in the field, as well as they need to have conducted at least 1 year's work experience as a nurse in their home country, so 1,120 hours in total. This is what we look for when you're applying for the student. You'll be sending the documents in to show us that the students have met this eligibility. And if they have, at that time, we'll be putting them in touch with our program head to conduct a Zoom interview. And that's just to make sure that the individual that we're speaking with matches the credential and holds the knowledge that they need to have when they come to Canada. When students complete this program, they're taking on all of the necessary classes and modules they need to take to be able to move through the Canadian RN system as well and pass the several stages they need to pass as they complete the program and potentially receive their RN shortly after graduating from the program as well. So they'll be doing things simultaneously. And again, these three programs, once graduated, are duly accredited. So they'll be receiving their accreditation from Sterling College. They will also receive their accreditation from Red Deer College. And that is what's going to make them eligible to apply for their postgraduate work permit. So that brings us to the end of the explanation of the type of programs we have, and I'm sure you guys will have several questions. So what I'm going to do is pass the screen back to Brenton, and we'll go from there.
We have one question, Human, regarding so the nursing program. Once they finish that, are they able to practice as a nurse in Canada, or how exactly does the process work?
Absolutely. So that's what the most important part of the program is. So once they've completed the program, they've also, throughout the 2 years, have gone through the different stages of becoming a Canadian nurse as well. So essentially what the goal is, by the time they graduate, they will be graduating from the RN program in Canada as well and receiving their licensing to be able to practice.
Yeah. Okay. And are they limited to like a specific territory? Like could they practice in Vancouver or Alberta or
Um, they're getting their RN in Vancouver, in British
yeah.
Columbia, but there's no limitation. They
Okay.
will need to pass for the governing bodies of any other province they need to go to, but they will be able to transition to other provinces should they choose to want to do that.
Okay, gotcha. And could you also mention a little bit about what the English requirements are like for the different programs?
Fantastic. So we do require an IELTS mark for our Sterling RDC programs. A nursing, we're looking at 6.5,
Mhm.
IELTS with no band lower than 6. And the others are a 6.0 IELTS with no band lower than 5.5. The English
Okay.
requirement is a little bit more lenient in our CTC programs for hospitality, tour management, and flight attendant.
Yeah.
We can accept other marks. We can have you do the English assessment at our school. However, for the nursing program specifically, students must have their IELTS because not only is it a requirement for our program, it is also a requirement for the process of becoming a Canadian nurse if you are from a foreign country. So you will need to hold that IELTS score. Now, if you're coming from a English language country, or a country where the education you took was in the English language, then a letter from your registrar stating that the education was in English will be enough to satisfy the
Exemption from,
IELTS
yeah.
requirement for the language.
Gotcha. Okay. And then we have another question regarding so the programs at CTC. Is there a co-op for the 12-week program? I think you
Yes,
said
so
there is, yeah?
almost every program we offer at CTC comes with a co-op option.
Mhm.
I don't see too many internationals coming in and just doing a certificate program for 3 months.
Yeah.
But should they do and would like to participate in a co-op, we do have a 3-month study and then 3-month co-op.
Gotcha. And do you guys help with job placement as well? Is it the
Yes.
another
So
question?
all of our programs with co-op, we use a third party for placement within the industry, and they manage the placement as well as the students completing those co-op hours.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I don't know if you can see the chat, but we also have a question about the flight attendant and hospitality. So at CTC, I guess. Is there postgraduate work permit there, or is that mainly Sterling that
So the
offers that?
Sterling programs are the ones that have the dual accreditation through
Okay.
RDC, which is a public-private partnership, which then allows us to be able to, or allows our students to be eligible for applying for their postgraduate work permit using the DLI from RDC,
Okay.
because they'll be receiving that accreditation upon graduation. Our CTC programs for travel and tourism, hospitality, resort business management, as well as flight attendant, they do not come with a postgraduate work permit. However, when you're completing one of our HRBM, which is our Hospitality and Resort Business Management Co-op program, which is a 2-year, 1-year study, 1-year work, or you're doing our travel and tourism business management program, which again is a 1-year study, 1-year co-op, you will be eligible to use our pathway partnership with 2 colleges here in British Columbia. So that's Vancouver Community College and Royal Roads University. So they would be able to transition to those 2 schools. They would be then doing 2 more years of study with them. They would receive a Bachelor in Arts. And to be specific, it would be a Bachelor of Arts in International Hotel Management or a Bachelor of Arts in Global Tourism Management at Royal Roads University. We also have a Bachelor of Hospitality Management at Vancouver Community College. So once they transition into either one of those 2 universities and complete the additional 2 years of study, they will graduate from those public universities, and again, they will be eligible for 3-year postgraduate work permit from those public institutions.
Gotcha. Okay. So they would start with CTC and then move to the public program, and then afterwards they would be eligible.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's correct. And we've established those partnerships with those schools. So transitioning to them, the application process has all been streamlined.
Gotcha. Okay. And then we had another question regarding the ILAC pathway. So if you have students that are coming in from the ILAC pathway program, does that satisfy their English requirement for the programs at the 2 colleges?
Yes, to answer that in short, yes. So as long as they've reached a high enough level within those programs, then yes, it would qualify.
Gotcha. Okay. And so it depends on the school and the program. Probably for CTC, it's lower, and for some of the Sterling Colleges ones, it would be, or I guess the highest that they would have to have is for the nursing program, I imagine, yeah?
That's correct. That's correct. And simply that's because it needs to match the requirements that the British Columbia government requires for nurses.
For them to work as a nurse within the territory. Gotcha. Okay. All right, great. Well, guys, if you have more questions, you can hold on to those, and at the end, we're going to have another Q&A. So I will go ahead and share my screen and then basically explain a little bit about AMS and how you can use AMS to work more efficiently with CTC and Sterling College. And then, like I said, we'll have another Q&A at the end, so any questions you have, we can address those then. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. All right. Can you see that, by the way, Human? Or
I can see that all right. That's good for me.
All right, perfect. All right, very good. So yeah, so first of all, what is AMS? I know some of you are already using AMS to manage your agencies. For others of you, it may be new, so I can kind of just give an intro first of all. So AMS was started around 10 years ago and created as basically a platform to help agencies manage every part of their business. So ranging from lead management to quotation management to enrollments, visas, document management, accounts, and all the little things in between that you need to keep up with to be able to run your agency smoothly. And so that was what AMS basically started as. But it since has kind of grew in its purpose and capacity. And so we also have partners like, Sterling College, Canadian Tourism College, as well as partner colleges from ILAC and elsewhere that have joined the platform so that you can easily gain access to those schools to be able to create quotations for your students and to be able to more easily search for programs. The main purposes are to help you with generating quotations, helping you to more easily submit applications, helping you to grow your portfolio, and to give you additional support with those schools as well. Okay. Why is AMS popular with agents? First of all, it's a platform that works for language as well as for academic recruitment. So it kind of caters to all the different nuances with both those types of operations. How it works also is that AMS is not a monthly service. You basically only pay for AMS when you have students that are enrolling to your agency. So in that way, during times like now, while everyone is working from home and schools are, things are moving more slowly, you wouldn't be paying for AMS. Of course, it helps you to get more organized. This is kind of the overarching goal of the platform. We are here to also help you diversify your portfolio by adding new colleges and universities. And then obviously being an online platform, you're able to access AMS anytime, anywhere, on any device, as long as you have an internet connection. And this here is what the kind of process would look like for a student in AMS. You would have a student enter into the platform, either directly from your website. You can link your website to AMS, or you could upload an Excel of students if you went to a fair or something like that, or you can create students manually. And then using the follow-up tools of AMS, the student would hopefully sign an agreement with you and decide to move on to the application stage. Then you're able to send quotations, kind of pinpoint what programs exactly they want, then manage and send the applications, and then all the process that you need to complete afterwards in terms of visas and documents and pre-departure procedures and things like that. So first, let's talk about how lead management works. Because this is arguably the most important feature or the most important job of any agency, it's very easy in AMS. Basically, you just have to follow 3 rules. With every student, you would rate them, give a follow-up date, and leave a note. And then as long as you follow that, the system is always going to remind you, and that way you're never going to miss a lead. This is what it looks like here. So for each student, you have a form like this. You would rate, give a follow-up date, note, and then here on your dashboard, it's going to tell you who you need to call today. If you don't contact them, they would go into missed follow-up. And if you didn't have a follow-up date at all, it would be a no follow-up date. Once you know what the student wants, you can go ahead and create quotations for them. And you can create your own schools and programs in AMS, and then you can also gain access to those that are already there. So, rather than having to search through websites, you could come in here and, instantly search for, flight attendant program, for example, and then CTC's program would come up to you that way. So rather, you can use basically a search engine and then select which programs you think match with what the student wants. And then you can send it to them as a link on whatever social media channel they prefer. And the overall appearance of it uses kind of videos, and they can compare the different statistics of different programs, or the details rather, so that they can have a better idea of which programs they prefer. This is what the search engine side of it looks like. So here you can type any sort of program in there, and then you can search by level. So if you're looking just for a post-degree or diploma, you can specify that way. And then you can also search by things like tuition range. And then for each of these, you can see how competitive the program is, what the duration of the program is, what the average turnaround time is for admissions, things like that. And you can also save programs into categories. So if you had, for example, specific programs that you like to promote for nursing or anything like that, you could put those into that category. And then whenever you had an inquiry for nursing, you could just click there and then very quickly get back to the student with a quotation that matches what they're looking for. Once the student is ready to move into the application stage, you're ready to manage the enrollment side of it. Okay, and this is what it looks like here. So if I, oh, just a second here. Right, okay, so here we can see the flow. So this is where all the students are that you're working with. You can see how many students, for example, are in the process of getting applications ready. You can see how many applications have been sent to the school. For how many students are we waiting to hear back still. It'll also tell you, when you need to follow up with admissions, so you can give a deadline of when you want to hear back from them. And if you don't hear back by then you'll know to follow up with the admissions team. Also important is the student decision deadline. So AMS will remind you whenever it's the last day that you have to respond to an offer, just to make sure that you're not going to miss out on that. Okay. Other than this, AMS helps you keep track of, visas. So when visas are ending, when you have visa appointments, what documents you need, etc. You have a calendar, which you can use to keep track of your events, and then also to assign tasks to the, the users that work with you, so your other staff. You can also use AMS to keep track of commission payments. And then it will keep track of all of your statistics and reports while you use AMS as well. So you can see which schools you're sending the most students to, which schools are you quoting the most in your quotations, and then who is being the most productive, things like this. And then, of course, it's going to help you not miss deadlines and alerts. So keep on top of that. And it will also remind you whenever you need to renew your agreements as well. And this is what so these are just kind of some alerts to show you what it looks like on the AMS dashboard. You can basically organize this however you want, and it's all can be customized depending on the role of the person in the organization. But here, you have some alerts regarding like visa appointments. So for students that you need to apply soon for the visa, any students whose visas are going to end soon, students whose programs are about to start or about to finish. And you can basically just customize this depending on what is most useful for you. And each user is able to do that. You can also send invoices to students through AMS. So, all the program information, the pricing information and account information is automatically taken from there. And you can edit it if need be, but this will kind of generate something that you can just send to the student as a link. Other than this, you can track payments that need to be made. So payments that need to be made to you, that need to be made to the school as well. This is showing that area there. And then we have this both for language as well as academic schools. So you can see, you could filter by program type or by country, by school, and see which students have paid, which have not, what commission can be expected, and when you need to write to the school to claim your commission. Tracking language school commission as well. And then to just kind of show you how it works, we're going to do an example student. So this here is Edmond Dantes, and he wants a diploma or a certificate program in Canada. And he's interested in business hospitality related subjects, business and hospitality related subjects, I think. He has a 6.0, so his English is not bad, and he has a high school GPA of 3.35. So in this case, Edmund has filled in our inquiry form on our website. So when a student does that, it would come into this area. So we can see, okay, we have 3 new students. And then we would click View and Assign to assign that to a counselor who would then be responsible for following up with admin. So we would just save it like that. Once we have saved the student, we're going to be presented with a page that looks like this. First off, you would want to upload a picture, so you can always put a name to a face. And then from here, you can click on student information to be able to see all of the information about the student. Things that are filled from forms would automatically populate there automatically. And then here in Notes and History, you can see what actions have been taken regarding the students. Any notes that you've taken as well are going to appear there. The quotations you prepare for the student, you'll be able to see there. Any files, you can kind of just drag and drop into here and access them from the student's page. If you want to have assign a task regarding the student, so maybe you want to tell a counselor to research accommodation in Alberta or something like that, you could do that from this area here. And then you can send emails to the students from here as well. And then for each student, you would normally have an inquiry. So we look here, we can see, okay, they want a diploma or associate's degree, postgrad diploma, etc. In Canada, in English, and they want business administration and hospitality. Here on the right side, we have our inquiry follow-up form. So this is where we mark, what we need to do, when we need to follow up with the student. And then once we have an idea of what they want, we can go ahead and make a quotation for them. So we click on Add Quotation. This is going to take us into the quotation area. As I mentioned, you can either pick from categories. If you have categories of programs already arranged, you can do that with an AMS, or you can just pick a country and then search manually. So let's go ahead and do that. So from here, you could enter, province, city, discipline, what level, tuition, whether or not it's a conditional offer that's given, and then the programs would come in like this. For each one, you could open it and you could see the tuition, the application fee, the average processing time, whether there's a conditional acceptance, and then how competitive the program is as well. And then you would just click on Quick Quotation to add that to the student's quotation list. Once you do that, you'll be able to see your quotations here. And then you can send those to the student by just copying this link button. Or you can, click on the WhatsApp icon here if you want to open WhatsApp Web. And then you can send the quotation to them that way. But it's essentially a link. So wherever you communicate with the student, you can send them the link there, and they will be able to see what that looks like. And I can actually send it in the chat area, just in case any of you would like to see it. Oh, just a second, if I can manage to open it. Chats. Oh, let me try that one more time. Okay, I can't get it to open actually. Let me just, I'll send it to you guys in the end if anybody would like to see it though. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I've sent that now. Okay, and let me just get back to the presentation real quick. Okay. Human, can you see my screen again, by the way?
I can see it, but it's not in full screen.
Okay. Now, is it it's full screen?
No. Oh, now it is, yeah.
Okay. All right, perfect. The chat wasn't opening, so I just had to deal with a little technical difficulty there. But yeah, so once you have the quotation, you can send it to them. Basically, each school, you would have a video here, so you could come in and see, watch a video to get an idea of what the school is like. And this is a template, by the way, so you can make it in any language. Also, these terms can be in different languages. So like, for example, this one is in Spanish. And then the student can see the total costs in the local currency as well as their home currency. At the top, they can also click on, oh, let me get my pointer out here again. They can change the currency as well. So that'll show them whatever exchange rate it is that they need to see. And then they can say, they can click on like if they like the program and click on apply if they would like you to make an application for them. Also within the quotation, you have a chat area. So this is what it looks like from a phone, by the way. If it's on the computer, it's like 3 side by side, but with the phone, it's one on top of another. And this little chat icon will pop up automatically. Whenever the student is looking at the quotation, you'll get a pop-up like this. So you'll see when they are checking, and then also when they write something to you, that will appear there, and then you can just click on this little notification area, and then you can chat live with the student. If you're not present whenever that happens, then it would just come as a message, and then you could respond to that later. And then AMS will keep track of which students have liked their quotations, which have expressed that they would like to apply. And then, we can click here and see, okay, Edmund, he wants to apply, so we can go ahead and move forward with our applications. To do that, we would just click enroll to add applications, and then we would click which ones that he wants to apply to. And then, they would move into the enrollment area. And by the way, everything I've showed so far is within the free range, within the free features of AMS. So managing leads, sending them quotations, all of this is free and unlimited, only whenever the student enrolls to your agency. So if they kind of sign an agreement with you, perhaps pay a deposit to your agency, and then you move into the application stage. At that point, you use 1 AMS credit, which is on average $3. So just wanted to quickly mention that. Once you are in this academic enrollment area, you have a choice. You can either go ahead and apply directly to the school. If you do that, so if we click on apply via ILAC Higher Education, that's going to send Human a form that looks like this. So it's going to have all of the students' information, and then also the relevant documents so that he can have a look and see whether or not that student matches the requirements of that program. And then he's able to respond to you from within AMS as well. And these are the steps that are followed for each application. So first you have, sent to school. You can give an application deadline if there's a deadline that you need to keep in mind. If there's an interview, you can have dates for that as well. And then with the school response, so you can come here and give a date for when you would like to follow back up with admissions. And then if you have a conditional acceptance, you could say it's going to tell you what the condition is. And then you would move into a student decision, and then ultimately commitment to school, which is when they would pay a deposit. And once their firm decision is to attend that school, then you would click on commitment to school. And then doing that would open an area like this. Here you can see, the start date, end date, orientation date. You can also see the required documents that they need and that you need to keep track of. And then from here, you can also access things regarding the student's visa as well as accounts. And then here you would confirm them as started once they have begun the program. So that is the basic flow that you would typically follow with an academic student in AMS. And just to kind of summarize what we've gone over so far, so AMS exists so that you can help diversify your university and college portfolio, helping you to explore new partnerships, partner with schools like CTC and Sterling College, and to access thousands of programs, both for language as well as academic. And how it works, by the way, so to be able to access Canadian Tourism College and Sterling College from within AMS, there's an area called the AMS Marketplace that you would basically just click on, and then you can agree to their terms and conditions. And then once you've done that, you'll be able to access Sterling College and Canadian Tourism College programs within the search engine area. So that will kind of just download all of that information into your AMS, and then you'll be able to access that. Okay. Of course, AMS is a cloud system, and we use Amazon AWS, which is one of the most secure platforms for this sort of service. You can access any of your info and files from any device as long as you have an internet connection. You can chat with students, but also with colleagues. So if you have people that are working remotely, it also serves as kind of a chat platform between colleagues. And then it can help you to, completely transform your company digitally, which is, I know, something that a lot of people have had to do in recent months. Also, helping you to save time. So one thing that's really useful is that you can kind of funnel leads from many different places into AMS automatically. So if you have landing pages for different campaigns or different websites with different forms that students fill out, all of those are going to be collected into AMS automatically. You'll be able to search through schools and programs to find what best fits each student. You can send them quotations much easier than you would had you had to research and send an email manually every time. And then it helps you simplify the process of applying to these schools. So, like we showed you, just being able to click with a click of a button, send the student's profile and documents to Human, so that you can get a quick response for the students. Okay, and then just to quickly cover how the costing structure is for AMS. Lead management is entirely free, so you can add as many students as you want. If you attend like a fair, for example, and you have 100 new leads, you can go ahead and add those. There's no limit on how many you can add. Sending quotations is also free. There's no monthly or annual fee or anything like that. Rather than that, you basically purchase AMS credits. And each time you have a student enroll to your agency, so each time a student says, okay, I'm ready to move forward and move into the application stage, each time that happens, you would pay 1 AMS credit, or on average $3. It doesn't matter how many applications you have, by the way, so it could be 1 or it could be 10. Still, you would just be charged 1 AMS credit. You can have as many users as you want as well, and as many branches, so you're not limited in that way. And yeah, it's just going to cost you when you have enrollments. Okay. And it's a tiered system, by the way. So if you purchase fewer credits, it's $3.50 per credit. If you purchase more, then it can go down to $2.50 per credit. And then for those of you who are new, just to tell you how to get started, you would basically just sign up at this link right here. And you have to purchase a minimum of 50 credits at the beginning. And then you get 10 credits as a gift. So your starting balance would be 60 credits, which again is enough for you to enroll up to 60 students. And there's no time limit. So there's no expiry date on that. If it takes you a year or more, still you would just be using those credits that you purchased in the beginning. And if you decide that it's not for you after 15 days, then your card is refunded. If any of you would like a demo or something like that, you can also register for a demo here, or you can write us on Skype or email, and we'd be happy to give you a more in-depth look at how the platform works. And yeah, again, this is our contact information. And we can go ahead and take questions now, I think. So that's the end of the presentation. Um, let's see here. Okay, and you guys can feel free to unmute yourself, by the way, or you can type in the chat area, whatever is easiest. Okay, I see one question asking, can you add your own schools? Yes, you are able to do that. So if you have a partner university or a particular school that's not on there, you can add them and you can upload all of their programs and you can quote those as well. Okay. And then I saw a question regarding setup fee, although I think that might have been answered. So yeah, in the beginning, you just have to purchase credits, and then you just use those credits when you are getting enrollments to your agency. So there's not a setup fee. Rather, you just have to have a balance of credits to be able to use the platform. And one thing I wanted to mention, by the way, so for those of you who are already using AMS, just to show you how exactly you would go about unlocking CTC in Sterling College. Let me just open AMS just to show you what the correct procedure is. Oh, 1 second here. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. Okay, Human, are you able to see my screen, by the way?
Okay, there we go. I'm not seeing anything yet. It just says you've started sharing the screen.
Okay. It might take a second here. Anything now?
Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So for those of you that are already using AMS, this is how you would unlock, CTC in Sterling College. You would just need to come to the marketplace here, and then up here at the top, so you can click here. There will be a thing that says unlock there. So if you click, that'll take you to the terms and conditions, and then once you click on that, then you'll be able to access those programs. And I think, Human, regarding like agreements with the agencies, like normally you would require that they send like a form whenever they send their first student. Is that what the procedure is normally, or?
Generally, yes. I mean, we can partner up prior to you having a student, but how I prefer it is once you have a student ready for one of our programs, then let's make the connection and start with that business.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and then also from here, so you can see a little bit more about Sterling College and their programs. There's also some links here to their website. Yeah, so just make sure you open the marketplace and unlock that so that you'll be able to start sending quotations. Okay, great. Any more questions or any?
I think I saw one question come up for me. DS was asking if students can work part-time during their study. The answer is yes. When students are on a study permit, they're allowed to work 20 hours per week on most cases, unless noted on the study permit otherwise. And so students will be able to gain part-time employment up to 20 hours per week to work, help with the cost of living generally while they're studying. And then if they're participating in a co-op program, then once the study period is over, they receive the work permit for that 1 year period, and then they'll be working full-time paid as well.
Excellent. And by the way, Human, could you send your contact information in the chat as well, just in case anybody has any questions afterwards? I can do the
Sure.
same
So I
later.
will include my direct email that you guys can get in touch with me. And also, this is my mobile number with the school, so you can call, text, or use WhatsApp to get in touch with me here. And that is the phone number for that.
Perfect. That's good. And I will go ahead and send our email and Skype as well for AMS in case anybody has any questions regarding that later. And if any of you, by the way, have colleagues that weren't able to make it, we recorded the session, so we'll be sending that out probably tomorrow, as long as the presentation. So you can feel free to forward that to anybody that wasn't able to make it.
Also, one more thing. This is a question I didn't see come up, but I'm sure it'll come up with most everyone. Right now, we are conducting our classes online. So we're on an online schedule. Whether students are here in Canada or they're in their home country, they're able to attend the classes online and begin their education. So this is important because it allows your students to get the education started sooner, rather than sitting and waiting around for seeing what the world situation will be going forward each term with the COVID and so on and so forth. So we're able to allow students to begin their education online, even if they're in their home country, case by case. So, if you have a case come up, if you have questions, please contact me directly. I'm more than happy to hear from you guys, and we can resolve those together.
Okay, perfect. If anyone does have, if there's any other questions, we can take those now. If not, we appreciate. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I do see one more question come up. Is co-op possible for a flight attendant diploma? Currently, we're not doing co-op for the flight attendant diploma. It is a 3-month program, and it's a pre-hiring program. So what this program does is it gives them the essential training they need to have, which makes them stand out next to other candidates applying to airlines. So we were not offering a co-op for that specific one.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys again for joining us, and we wish you all a good rest of the day or rest of the night, depending on where you are. And yep, thanks for joining.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brenton.
Thank you for your time as well. Yep.
Take care.
See you. Bye.